Alrighty guys, welcome back to another one. We're doing a super heavy 20 gauge 3-inch turkey load today, ounce and 5/8. You've seen our 2 and 3/4 and 3 ounce 10 and 12 gauge loads. Well, this is in the same ballpark as that. Obviously you can't get it quite as heavy because it's just a 3-inch shell and it's 20 gauge, quite a bit smaller. But an ounce and 5/8 is still nothing to sneeze at. If you stay tuned long enough, I've got an ounce and 3/4 cat sneezed, ounce and 3/4 load for my 16 gauge. That's also a monster load, and that's just with a 2 and 3/4 inch shell. Powder we're using is 28 grains or 29 grains of Hodgdon Little Gun. This is lead, by the way, it's not TSS. And the wad, well, one of them is the low profile gas seal from Ballistic Products. And I don't have one sitting here, but it's the 7/8 ounce Winchester AA wad or the Claybuster equivalent to it, or any 7/8 ounce 20 gauge wad. We do have to modify it though, so no big deal. Let's get to it. So the very first thing that you're going to want to do is modify your wad. Again, this is a 7/8 ounce Target wad for 20 gauge. This one is a Winchester wad. It came out of the Winchester Universal Hull. You could also use a Claybuster or, any 7/8 ounce 20 gauge wad. Now, what I'm going to do here is just ditch the gas seal because we aren't going to be using it. The bottom of the wad, get rid of it. I wouldn't throw it away because it does have uses with other loads, tapered shells. Cut off half of the piston section, right at the little crease. And yes, I have cut myself many times doing that. This is what we're left with, about half the piston section. Now, moving on to powder. 28 to 29 grains of Little Gun. The 28 grain charge is 10,900 PSI. The 29 grain charge is, I believe it was 11,200, something along them lines. Don't hold me to that though, because I haven't looked at the data in a while, as usual. But I do remember the powder charges are 28 to 29 grains. You could go higher if you wanted to, but I don't need to. The 29 grain charge is 1100 FPS. There's 25, 28. Alright, there's 28 grains of Little Gun. Low profile gas seal, again from Ballistic Products. See how thin these are? That's what lets you get huge payloads in your 20 gauge. Even in the 2 and 3/4 inch shell, you can fit this 1 and 5/8 ounce load if you just use fiber wad and the gas seal, conventionally loaded. Now these gas seals are very tight fitting in the plastic. You could actually feel it just ever so slightly bulged out, but not near enough to cause any hang-ups in your guns. This is Gary's wad tamper. Did you hear that? Like I said, those things are really tight fitting in there. And this is just the configuration that I have the components to make this work. You can maybe use a TPS wad or maybe a CSD 3-inch wad, and that will let you I have one right here. I believe this is the TPS 20 gauge wad, and without any sort of filler or cushion, you can fit the 1 5/8 ounce charge in it. But who knows what that would do to the pattern and pressure. So that's why I'm doing it this way. 1 5/8 ounce of, I'm using number 6 shot. So 1 5/8 ounce of number 6 shot. I have it in this 28 gauge hole here. Now, this is actually only 1.6 ounces, just shy of 1 5/8. The last little bit I like to add buffer to help with extended ranges, and it helps your pellets not deform when you fire them. I'm using the original buffer. About 3/4 of a scoop. It's going down in there nice. Alright, now once you have your buffer fully tamped down in there, what I'm doing is adding a very thin piece of a 24 gauge nitro card. just as an overshot card. This will help with buffer leakage, and it'll help a little bit nicer crimp. I'm going to give that a little bit of pressure with my press, and a 6-point fold crimp. Alrighty, there's the pre-crimp. Looks nice and good. And here's your final crimp. I'll turn the camera around so you can get a better view at it. These yellow hulls never want to show up on camera good. And here's what it looks like. Very nice crimp on it. Little tiny hole in the middle right there, but that's what the very thin section of 24 gauge nitro card is for. When I say thin, I mean like half of one section. They come in sections of 3. You can kind of see the 2 sections left. That was half of one section though. Very nice looking shell. There's one last thing you can do to it, and that is run it through a like a GIPE roll crimp tool to taper it in a little bit, but I don't have one, so I'm not going to worry about it. I do have the Reloaders Network quad pin roll crimp tool. May give that a shot and see what it does, but I'm not expecting it to do much of a taper. So like I said, didn't really taper it all that much, although the top edge does have a slight little taper. I think you can make it out there. But it did seat the crimp in quite a bit more. That's a nice crimp on it. It's dirty because my the roll crimp tool has lead buildup on it. I've used it for a lot of slugs. But that's a very nice looking shell. A messy workbench is a productive workbench. And here's what it looks like from the this angle. Like I said, pretty good looking shell. Now, even though all of the shot is not inside the shot cup, that's fine. The 2 3/4 ounce 12 gauge loads, 3.5 inch, those are, well, about, I want to say 70% of the shot is not contained in the shot cup, and we're still getting at 30 yards a pattern that far exceeds the Winchester Longbeard XRs, and those are very good turkey loads. And the reason it's that well is because of the choke we have in that gun. It's a 680 Constriction Kicks GT Goblin Thunder. So I'd recommend finding a choke for your 20 gauge that's in the same ballpark, extra full, 20 thousandths over standard full choke for 20 gauge would probably be a big help with this load right here. But I don't know. I haven't tested it myself. It could be too tight. I don't know. You guys need to test that for yourselves. And that's what all the fun of this is. Testing your loads. But anyway, we want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. If you got any questions or comments or suggestions, leave them in the comment section below and we will get back to you. Thanks for watching.